Hey guys, Carl here from GameReviewsHU.net. Today we are going to check out Strife, a recently released free multiplayer online battle arena game by S2 Games. S2 Games is the company who brought us Heroes of New Earth, which was heavily based on Dota. Why make another MOBA game? Well, S2 Games is trying to make a non-toxic MOBA game and dubbing it as the second generation MOBA game, because as we all know, if you are a new MOBA player, you will get shouted a lot, bashed a lot, and there are a lot of angry players right off the bat when you play Dota 2 or LoL. I will explain more later, but let's check the technical aspects of Strife. Strife was announced on August 8, 2013, and on February 2014 the game was on closed beta. Several months later, on August 2014 the game is finally on open beta, and on April 9, 2015 the game was finally released on Steam, however it's still on its beta phase. A little lore here, the reason why the arena of Strife has been made was to train warriors from different races and battle each other. So basically this is not something like Dota wherein you fight with sentinels because the Scourge is evil, and vice versa. Strife is basically like a training grounds for races to complete and train because an invasion will be coming. That is basically the lore of the game. Speaking of lore and storylines, Strife is going to be the first MOBA game to have a story mode, which is going to be a great addition to the game. Currently there are only one chapter and it roughly takes 1 hour to finish or less. It is quite short, but for a free game and a MOBA game, it is a welcoming addition to the genre. I cannot wait to play more of it. The visuals of Strife is amazing and colorful, which makes the whole experience better and immersive. It is a nice change since if you play Dota 2, it has this dark atmosphere to it. Character design is also good due to the fact that all of them have distinct features and inspiring design, something that players would love to use in a MOBA game. Everyone has its own features and personality. There are also skins that you can buy with gems, in which you can get by purchasing gems through real cash transaction. Animations on this game is smooth. Transition from basic attacks to skill attacks have tight and fluent transition. You can easily distinguish skill effects and clashes because the overall visuals are truly vibrant. Currently there are only one map on Strife. It is your typical MOBA map wherein there are 3 lanes and 5v5, however there are 4 unique sections, each with its own team, and the map is overall smaller than other MOBA's map, so doing clashes is a lot more frequent and easier. There's also objectives in the game like defeating bosses like monsters, for example Sindara and Baldir. Both have significant effects for the team who defeated them. When Sindara was defeated, Kratos will be unleashed, a huge ape who will wreak havoc to the opposing team. Baldir, on the other hand, when defeated will give out golds and experience throughout the team, and when killed 3 times, will be unleashing hordes of Darkwave minions to push the lanes. So basically Darkwave minions are, on the lore, it was said that they are the one going to invade the world of Strife. So I don't see the logic why if you defeat Baldir, they will spawn right on the lanes. Maybe Baldir is like a gatekeeper, maybe. Anyway, it gives a variety of ways on how to play and win on Strife. Aesthetically speaking, the map has a very nice touch on it. It has that League of Legends feel to it. And since some of LoL map's aspects are within the game, like the bushes, jungle, etc., makes other MOBA players feel at home. However, I wish there would be more maps in the future, like for 3v3 and other such, which has like smaller maps or larger maps, but we will see that in the future. Currently there are 30 heroes in the roster and they are planning to release more over the course of time. All of the heroes are free to play right off the start, and there is no rotational lineup like on League of Legends, so that is great. In addition, all of them have unique lore and unique skill sets. Matchmaking on Strife depends on how good you are on a certain hero. There's a mastery system that fills up every time you use a hero, and that is a very good thing. You're not going to match up against an opponent who has mastered his hero, but instead you'll be playing against an opponent who also has not mastered that hero, so it gives an equal footing on both sides. Also, matchmaking may take a little while if you only search in one region. But it is okay to search on all regions because the match is always stable even if you have a slow internet. Lag is not noticeable even if you have high pings. Now let us focus on the match itself. It is your typical MOBA match, so if you have played once, you know the basic formula of the MOBA game. There are 3 lanes, 5v5 matchups, and you have to push lanes, destroy overpowered towers, kill minions and enemy heroes until you reach the Crux. The Crux is basically the main objective of the game. You have to destroy it before your enemy destroys yours. In a sense, the basic features of a MOBA game is still there, but why is Strife called the second generation MOBA? Here are some of the unique stuffs in Strife. First is the gold income. It is evenly shared throughout your teammates, so if you are farming for gold, your teammates also get some share with it. So kill stealing of heroes, which is pretty known in MOBA, will be okay and it will not taunt your enemy to bash you. This gives a lot more flexibility on doing strategized clashes and whatnot. This is also a huge help for support players and they will never feel like a left out mid-game. One of the unique gameplay aspects of Strife is that you have pets as companions on battle. All of the pets have different passive skills and one active skill. You have to choose wisely on what pet to choose to have an advantage on the match. They can also evolve if you feed them. It is a great addition to give diversity throughout the match. There's also a crafting in Strife. You can customize in-game items with elixirs you get per game. Crafting items can have their basic components replaced with another component. It's a good addition, but acquiring elixirs will take a lot of grind unless you pay with real money. Another reason why Strife has been dubbed a second generation MOBA is because of its anti-toxic policy. We all know that when you are a noob on Dota 2 or LoL, you'll get bashed a lot since you are a noob and such. The S2 games have tried their best to gather information on how to stop rage from players. Besides from having the loot shared, there are also things like other players cannot see your stats unless you yourself show it to them, and also by the end of the game you can comment or report your teammates if they are raging at you or if they are a good team player. That actually helps you. There is also no denying of minions and towers in the game, so you can take time on destroying towers and killing minions without worrying yourself that the opposing enemy will destroy it for you, so the gold will not come to you. There are no roles system on Strife. You can play as anything you want. You can be support and a tank at the same time. You can be a tank or just the one who farms a lot. You can be anything, and that is a great thing because you are not restricted into one role. You can be versatile as you want. Wow! That's a lot of good things. There are also some bad things that may frustrate you. One is the damage you deal against the enemy feels like paperweight mid-game. Unless you hoard yourself with basic attack increase, they just feel so weak. There was this one time that my enemy has lower attack damage, but he actually dealt a lot more than my character, which is absurd. Or maybe because the guy I'm fighting to has higher health than mine, that it doesn't feel like anything. I don't really want to have a weak attack. It makes me frustrated and stuff, because you have to feel the feedback when you attack the enemies, and that is very satisfying to see. Another thing is the tower is overpowered and congested. I don't think you can do solo battle with it unless you have tremendous amount of health and tremendous attack damage. And they are near to each other, like there are 3 towers near to each other in one lane. So it is hard to attack behind because you will get destroyed by the towers by the time you reach the other tower. Another problem is the levers of the game. It constantly happens and one of the reasons why a team loses. It sucks and S2 games should punish them accordingly. Yes, lever may get penalty, and once someone leaves, you can finally leave a game without any penalty. But still, it is an act of an asshole to do it. My last complaint would be other characters are also overpowered. They have to balance it out, but it's still on beta, so it is quite forgiving. The music and voice acting is actually decent on Strife. There are different soundtracks playing in every event, which is really dynamic and immerses you more to play. All characters are voiced out and most characters say things that are related to his lore, which is good, though I prefer if there are other accents, as it seems that most characters have westernized accent. This is my take on Strife. So what are the pros and cons of the game? The pros are the game has a very dynamic and vivid graphics, which I really like. The character design is unique and inspiring, and I hope it continues as they release more heroes. Their lore is interesting, and Strife is the only MOBA that has a story mode, so it's a very great and welcoming addition to the genre. The match is always stable, something that I really like for an online game, because getting lag spikes due to your internet connection slowing down or disconnecting frustrates me a lot, and I know that other gamers do that too. Matchmaking is also balanced as it finds your opponent who has the same skills as you. There are a variety of heroes to choose from. They are not overwhelmingly many, but they are sufficient enough to have a variety of choices. There is also no role system in the game, so you are not quite restricted in how you play Strife. Gold income is shared. No need for explanation to that. It is one of its best features, and it is one of the reasons why there are less toxic players in the game. Pets as companions give a lot of diversity on how you take on enemy players. choose it wisely because sometimes they are the best attack throughout the enemy, or they might save you if you have low health or such. Crafting is another nice addition, but could be implemented way better. Objectives inside the matches, like defeating the two bosses like Sindara and Baldir, to earn advantage in the game. Commend and report system at the end of the game gives karma points to those who are worthy, or for those who are just trolling and bashing other players. All characters are voiced out and the music is dynamic as it changes from one team to another, depending on the situation. Wow, that is a lot of pros for a MOBA game, and this is my first MOBA game. Strife is really a good game, but there are also cons on Strife. Well, first, on all games at its beta, there are overpowered characters in it, and Strife is no different. Some heroes are just overpowered mid-game and you cannot do anything about it. The towers are overpowered and very near to each other. It is hard to do some strategy against those. There are also a lot of levers in the game, making the game one-sided real quick. They should be punished accordingly, or if they are disconnected, make them reconnect. Damage in Strife felt paperweight or no damage at all. It is like punching a rock and you feel you are not damaging at all. It is quite frustrating, and when you are at level 10, you can barely kill the enemy players. So yeah, the cons are really few, and I haven't really found any problems when I play the game. It's fun, it's immersive. So yeah, that is my review on Strife. It is a very good MOBA for casual and experienced alike. If you have played MOBA, then this game is easy to pick up. And if you are new, then this game is for you. There are no angry players if you suck or skill steal. I really recommend this game for casual playing, and I wish it could get better as time passes by. This is Carl again, signing off. Bye!